It's been at least 4 days since those shocking visuals of Swathi's murder in a crowded railway platform in Chennai. And yet, so many days after, the police seems to have no leads altogether, because although there were so many people when her attack took place, no one was able to intervene. Also, no one came forward as a witness. It is so shocking that the family has had to issue an appeal, and today the High Court has taken up the issue. So we'll be speaking to activists there, we'll be speaking to people who have taken up the case. We have lawyers who are especially involved in crime against women and how to tackle it, to talk about what has happened, what this case says about the trend in general. First, let's just hear the appeal from the family, and then we'll talk about how the High Court has taken so moto notice today. Her family issued this appeal yesterday.
The investigation is going very fair. Okay. So now I request to the media, whatever suppose anybody see at that time, that in between 6:40 to 6:30 to 6:40 anybody saw that incident, please provide that evidence to nearby police station. This is very helpful to easily investigate the cases. Okay. So this is no political, no caste, no religions involved. That is 200% we know. Okay. Some culprit is there, we want justice.
We want to make it clear that no murder for gain has occurred.
We need justice, yes sir.
The family of Swathi, who are so anguished because nothing has happened so far. The High Court has given an ultimatum, and we know PVS Girdhar, he's an advocate in Madras High Court. He will talk to us about that. We also have TV Mohan the spy, because lot of these attacks have taken place with employees of the IT sector, so they've had special concerns. We also have Karuna Nandi, advocate in Supreme Court, who has tracked crime against women ever since the 2012 December 16 case, another major turning point in crime against women. PVS Girdhar, if I can start with you, what did the court say today? And because they've obviously said that the fact that her body was lying there for 2 hours is simply unacceptable. They seem to be really upset with the enforcement agencies in Chennai.
Hello.
Mr. Girdhar, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you clearly.
Okay, we'll just go. I think we have Sam Daniel also with us. We have Sam Daniels also with us. Okay, you can hear me, Mr. Girdhar. Can you just tell us why is it that the court had to get involved for the authorities to take this seriously, and the case has now been transferred to the police?
Okay, you're asking me why the court had to intervene in this case?
Yes.
Okay. See, the court found that, at least from newspaper reports, there was not adequate progress. And in a case of a daylight murder, so far there have been no arrests, no witnesses coming forward. Now, not as a lawyer, but as a human being living in Chennai, it's quite shocking that somebody around 6:20, where there should be 25 to 50 people in the railway station, none of them came forward to either help her or rush to her support thereafter, or to try to rush her to the nearest hospital. Now, in this scenario, it is really scary that we do not have a sense of justice. We are agitated when it comes to our own family members or somebody close to us, but when somebody on the street is attacked like this, it's quite unfortunate that nobody has come forward. Secondly, the situation is that there is not adequate witness protection, and people are afraid to come forward to become witnesses, afraid that they may be dragged to the police stations and in the courts. Now, in this scenario, the court found that there was a jurisdictional issue, that the government railway police was seized to the matter, while the commissioner had issued a statement that it does not directly fall under him. The court was probably of the opinion that it's better it comes under the commissionerate, so that the police will be able to act more efficiently and the commissionerate has greater resources at its disposal. I think this is what would have weighed in the mind of the court.
Okay, and Mohan Daspa, if I can ask you, are you at all concerned? Because although it doesn't have anything to do with the IT sector as such, but this is the second high-profile crime to take place involving employees of the IT sector.
I'm very concerned because it happened to an employee of an IT sector and especially of Infosys. We see a trend in many cities of IT sector employees getting mugged, getting beaten up. Even in Bangalore, it's happened on Electronic City on the Hosur Road many times. And because they work 24/7, they go at early times. The lack of protection. It is shocking to see it happen on the railway platform in Chennai. I think even in other cities like Pune, we had a murder of an Techie when he was going to Pune, from Pune to Mumbai. I think it's very important that the government takes adequate measure to protect people and the citizens by having adequate cameras all over our cities, making sure there's public lighting and much greater vigilance. Because there is now a new trend of people coming to urban areas, people stalking, misguided people doing all kind of stuff. I think we need to be even more vigilant, and I think it's very, very scary that it happened like the way in Chennai in early morning.
Karuna Nandi, when you hear about this case, of course, a big rider for our viewers over there. We know very little about the details of this case. Why do you think, though, the family had to issue this kind of an appeal to everyone? One, for people to come forward and give more information, and second, also for people to stop speculating.
It's so tragic that the girl was lying there on the platform. She was attacked, and apparently there were a lot of people that saw the attack and didn't lift a finger to go to her aid and left on the next train. And I think that if it's one's family member or even in the abstract, it's just a fellow citizen.
Yes.
It's sort of deeply shocking that happens. It's a systemic failure, though, that in part it's systemic failure, in part it's I think citizen callousness, not wanting to put yourself out even a little bit. The systemic failure, I think, yes, it is the absence of witness protection programs.
And as TV Mohan Daspai was saying, the cameras bit.
Well, there's the absence of witness protection programs. But also we must be aware that now, if you do go to somebody's aid, you can't be forcibly involved in a criminal or a civil case.
Yes.
So that has been achieved, you see. So I think it's very important for the viewers to know this, that when there is a crime happening in front of you, or to intervene or to alert the authorities depending on the situation. But say there's an accident victim, there's no question now of not helping them.
Yeah.
So that's one reason I think that the parents are possibly this is what they said, why they're so anguished. The second reason is that there's a lot of appropriation of this crime and this tragedy that is happening before we even know who the
How do you mean?
Criminal and the culprit is. Let me explain. So there are outlets, there are media, there are sort of small online individuals possibly, at times, because there's a Hindu Sentinel, I think, or there's a few others, right? Saying that there was some love jihad angle.
Yes.
And now the thing is that I think to just sort of, without knowing anything, to allege somebody who is a real person, who was a real person, who has a real family, and they are just, I think the family is just saying that don't speculate about her personal life,
right,
about her, wait for the evidence.
It's important, and I think I'm going to ask you that question a little later about whether only women victims face this kind of scrutiny. But before that, Sam Daniel is with us, and he has with him some people who have been having candlelight vigils about Swathi. Sam, what are they saying? What concerns them as Chennai citizens about this particular case?
Well, Sunetra, generally, number one is the lack of sympathy and empathy among the other passengers who just quietly took the next train and left the place, leaving Swathi's body unattended, not taking her to the hospital, and she actually bled to death and the body remained like that for 2 hours. Secondly, also they are angry about the lack of security. People are talking about Chennai becoming a smart city, but here is a busy suburban railway station which does not have even a CCTV camera, and that's what angered people. I have with me Welkin, Sunny and Ravikant, who actually paid tributes by holding a candle vigil yesterday. What made you angry yesterday?
The major point was the character, Swathi's character was completely assassinated even in social media as well as few medias. Digging in about the caste and religious issue and judging her character, which we feel is the problematic issue, and we started doing candlelight for that.
And